I'm coming to you from the temple succulent garden. It's the bloom garden here at the temple. And I just wanted to start out by saying that succulents are probably the easiest plants you'll ever want to grow. They don't require a lot of attention, but they do get a lot of attention because they are very pretty and their textures and the colors change a lot of times with the seasons as well. So we can get started if you want to. I want to show you some of the different types of pots that you can use. They're different vessels. You don't have to have something with a drainage hole in the bottom, but you do have to have stone. You can see this small stone, about 2 inches, that we put in all of your the bottom of your vessel, so for the drainage. So I'd like to start with showing you a little bit of these different types of succulents here. They all have kind of scientific names. They're heat tolerant, which is great for Florida, and they don't need a lot of water. What you want to avoid doing is overwatering these little guys because they store their water in their leaves. So you can kind of ignore them and enjoy them. So this is just some of them here that I'm going to be putting, I think, in this one to start. But just to give you an idea of what you need to have in order to plant these little guys is this is a cactus succulent soil, potting soil. It's a fast draining formula that I'm going to pour into here. See, and has a lot of aeration to it and allows
show us the
a
bag
lot of air for the plant.
or not.
So here you can kind of see it's really, really loose.
Sandy, we're not seeing that.
Real
Sandy,
tight.
I don't see past
Can
the
you see it?
top. No, I can't see
You
past
can't
the.
see it? Okay.
Yeah, bring it towards the cups.
Okay. So anyway.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, right
You see
there.
it now?
Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
So it's really light and airy, and it's perfect for the succulents. Okay, so you have this potting material here. Okay. And then you have these little stones, these little pebbles. And I picked these up at the dollar store for just $1. And this is what I want to put about 2 inches of this on the bottom of my container. So I've got that here. If you can see this here.
Okay.
So what we want to do is take this container here. Can you see this little round?
Okay, now we can. Yes.
Can you see this?
Yep.
You can. Okay, good. All right. I have some other ones here. These are like little terrariums, and these are fun to do too because you can put the stone in there just for fun, and then you put the soil in, and then you put your little succulent in, and then put your soil, and then we'll add more little stones, little pebbles on top when it's finished. It's really a nice gift for Hanukkah or for any time of the year. And again, this is a Hanukkah mug. You can use this for a gift for Hanukkah. And the succulents will do quite well in any of these types of containers. So I'm going to put 2 inches of gravel. is probably about 3 bags right there. Okay, so that should be enough for that. And so that is here. And what I'm going to do is, what I like to do is I like to take my succulents and kind of arrange them, put them in while they're in their containers like this, and see how they're gonna, how I want to arrange the different textures and types of. This is a really pretty one. It looks like a flower, and if there's any dead leaves on them or any that are falling off, you just kind of want to pinch them off before you put them in. And this would be a pretty, maybe over here. And I always like to put aloe in because aloe is a great medicinal product to use. And so I could sort of put that in the middle and kind of give some height there. This is one that you want to be able to view from all different directions. And then you have things like this one here, which is called jelly beans. And it has some pinks in it. And it's the type that will flow over the side of your container and around. So here we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's see, 1 of 5. Probably could put 6 in there. And I want to put a little bit more green in, a little brighter green. I think I might just take this one here. And this is called the Hobbit. And it's it needs 4 to 8 hours of light daily. But anyway, these I think would make a pretty look finished. Okay, so now that I've kind of decided what I want to do, I'm going to take them out of the pots like so. Okay, this one is pretty moist. I got them at the one of the garden centers, and it's really moist. Normally I would water, but I'm not going to do that today because it is so moist and it doesn't really need to be watered, but the roots are very shallow. So I can just kind of stick that in here. And you want it to come up right to the edge of the pot so that just kind of, doesn't hang over, but it's right there toward the top after we fill in the soil. And this one also, I didn't water these, but they're very, very wet. I guess they had them, and I've had them for a couple of days, so they haven't even dried out yet, but they're hanging in there. So you've got this, and we'll go ahead and keep turning the pot around. And you can get your succulents anywhere. Actually, they have a really nice selection at Walmart. I haven't really been to too many stores lately, just because of COVID and everything. So I just kind of want to prop that up there. But this is very medicinal, and if you ever have burns, if anybody ever has a burn, it's a wonderful antidote to stopping that terrible pain. Okay, so we have that. And then this one here, this is, again, heat tolerant. Water, allowed to dry them out completely before you plant them. So again, I'm gonna kind of squeeze this one out of here. And I don't know if you can see, the roots are really, again, this one is a little bit on the wet side. So I'm going to get rid of some of that wet soil there. Shake it out a bit. And I think I want to try to get it down into the pot a little bit more. And you can see the roots are very they're delicate, but they're very hardy, sturdy plants, and they can really add a lot to a room or a table. Sherry, you have a really pretty coffee table in your living room that something like this would really be pretty on. Sort of an Asian look a little bit, you know. So here's another one here. And again, I'm going to shake it out a little bit. And so here we have everything in except for the jelly beans. And pinch that off. And that'll be held up pretty quickly by the soil. And this is the little jelly bean plant. Again, a little bit wet. So normally I would water them in for the first time, but because they are so wet, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to put that one there. And this is also a little trailing guy that will add a lot of dimension to this pot. Okay, so now what I want to do is all you need is a little paintbrush to brush off the dirt on that gets on here. So I didn't bring one today. I forgot it at home. But anyway, I'm going to start filling this in. You know, just very gently, very carefully. Try to get the aloe to stand up straight, and it doesn't have to be perfectly centered either. It can be off center, which is kind of an artsy way to do it. Now I'm going to mix that wet soil that I put in here with the rest of this other soil here. So here you go. Here, that one in, and here. And I'm just going to keep turning it until I get the soil in there. And the really neat thing about these succulents too is they'll start making babies. And when they do, you can kind of pinch off what's there, and you can start it from and put it somewhere else in another pot. You don't need to root it or anything. They'll root themselves. They're very good about that. So if you have any questions along the way, I'm happy to answer. It's really, you know, these are ideal for people who want to have a green thumb but don't have a green thumb and want to see some immediate success. This is a great way to do it, to have it. And again, here you have this guy. I want to lift him up a little bit more, put a little bit more soil in, and he's already got some new growth coming. And we need this fellow over here. And you can see the different, you want to leave a little room for them to spread out a bit because they will grow. And like I said, if they do and they get over potted, which would take a long time, they're not real fast growers, although this garden has really taken off like crazy in the bloom garden, which I'm thrilled about. And but it suffered a lot from the rains, the summer rains, and so on. So, okay, so we have pretty much enough soil in here. That off a little bit. And here, I think we want a little bit more in there. Spread it around the jelly beans a little bit. And it might be a little expensive to get started with these, but once you do, and you're able to take the cuttings and then just plunk them in the dirt, again, it makes for nice gifts and also beautification of your home. So I'm just gonna blow on it a little bit. And I think I need to put a little bit more over here on this pretty rose flower shaped one. So pretty. And just kind of tamp it in a little bit. And there you have here. Doesn't want to stand up very straight, but it will once it settles in. Okay. So we have this. Now, from the succulent garden, I thought maybe I would take a little cutting over here of this sedum. It's a bright green sedum that's in the planter box. And actually it has some roots. So I just pulled a little bit of that out. And this spreads it spreads really well. And it's a nice ground cover or, you know, something just to put in for a little filler, for a little bright green. If you want a little bright green there, over here. And I'll get a little bit more. And if you buy one of these plants, you see them all the time in the garden centers. They go a long, long way, and will give in there. They are perennials. They actually don't die. They just keep producing. And maybe I'll stick a little bit in over here, just to see. Over here. And if you don't care for it, you can always pull it out and put it somewhere else. And a little bit over here. And just make your own design, your own creation. And this will trail over the side. And and then once it takes, you can trim it if it gets a little out of hand, and, or not. So here we have, oh, heavy. Some of this here. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of blow on this because I don't have my brush, but a little pastry brush or whatever you have, paintbrush, which I have many of, and I know Sherry does too. And we have no need to go out and buy brushes, that's for sure. Okay, so here you have this. Now, what I like to do is, there's a lot of things you can do. If you want to make it, if you want it to look like a beachy type thing, you can take shells, which I've done before in this pot here, and I have some, you know, pretty shell to put in, just to give it a little interest. If you have someone that lives at the beach or know someone that lives at the beach and they like to have, you know, sort of a beachy look, you can put some of these shells. You could just go to the beach or even just buy a few and just stick them in willy-nilly, however you think would be nice, and like that. Then I like to take a little bit of these little pebbles and kind of spread them around here. Okay, and this really brings out course, the soil does too, but this kind of brings out and identifies these plants or in a really pretty way. So it doesn't take much, just a little bit. And as you're playing with them, you know, you just play with it until you get a look that you want. I happen to like these. I like this look with the white bowl and a little bit of the seashell idea. So I'm gonna open another bag. These are the ones that I get at the dollar store. And this is a pretty big one. So you don't have to do a big one like this. You can do something a little bit smaller. In fact, it would be more cost effective to do it a little smaller. So I'm gonna add a little bit more pebbles here. A little bit more over here. And really, I can't emphasize enough that that you just don't really need to water them. You can go on vacation for a week or two. I don't know if you'll ever do that again. Well, I'm sure we will at some point. But and you can leave it. You know, it's fine. I know. I mean, when you, I think that's kind of in the future. For my grandson, who was just born, I hope. And again, just kind of push them down a little bit, steady them a little bit, and you know, fill in as much as you like. I like a little bit of the dirt to show, just so that it looks, you know, really natural. And just wipe off the edges a bit here. And as you can, I don't know if you can see this, but on this little bitty jelly bean plant, there's already some air roots starting to form there. So when that would grow out more and you wanted to use it in another arrangement, you certainly can do that. And that would be very nice too. So, I don't know if you can see how this turned out. But there it is. And voila, bon appetit.
Beautiful.
You've got a nice plant for indoors. Now, it does like light, but it can survive in the house. You really, you want it to have a little bit of light. And then, of course, they can be out on your lanai or patio or by your front door or on a pedestal or however you wish to display it. A few more over here. So that's the succulent. But now this aloe will grow, and I have aloe growing in the succulent garden here, and it was so big, and it made lots and lots of babies. So I have these that are ready to go in somebody's garden or back into the garden here. They get very, very large, but then they spring off, and then you can, again, put them in other pots. Like the aloe is really nice to give because if you're going to, like, just say you want to give a Hanukkah gift and maybe somebody wants to put it, something like this on their windowsill in the kitchen. And if anything would happen, you know, they'd get a burn or something like that. You'd have this medicinal, wonderful aloe to soothe your pain. And I've had many a burn in the kitchen, I can tell you that. So here we go. I'll put a little bit of this soil in here. And this is the Hanukkah cup if you want to. And then you just stick it right in there, just like so. And you really don't have to put the pebbles on top of this if you don't want to, but it depends on whatever you want to do. So here you have this one here, and ready to go to give to a friend for Hanukkah. We had a big Hanukkah party last year. I don't think we're going to be doing a big Hanukkah party this year. But there it is. And you can also maybe put a small little, a little succulent in there as well. I'm just looking here, like if you look at this one here, this one is a double. So this one was already making a new babies. So if you wanted to add a little something to that, you could do that as well. And this one's already become root bound. And so you can just separate them like so and take away. And you can even cut away some of the roots if it's not gonna quite fit. Don't be afraid to do that. Very simple. And you could, add it to this if you wanted to. If you wanted to just kind of stick it in there. This is kind of how you do. And a little more dirt so it can have some company. And here you have a Hanukkah gift for somebody's kitchen windowsill that they can, which is nice about these is that, it's a gift that keeps on giving, and you don't have to be a master gardener to be able to do this, and you can just enjoy them, and then somebody will, every time they look at it, they'll remember you. So, from the Bloom Garden at the temple, I thank you for coming. I think you're the only one. But
No,
anyway,
we have Sue Novak is here.
who?
Sue Novak.
Oh, Sue Novak. Oh, good. I can't see everybody, but I'm happy that you came. And again, bon appetit.
Wonderful.
If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer if I can. Or if you want to come and visit the garden here at the temple, you can come and make an appointment. And if you want some cutting to get started, I'd be able to do that for you if you would want me to do that. So other than that, I just I'll answer any questions you might have.
So, anyone have any questions for our gardener?
What?
I'm asking if anyone has any questions.
A little what?
No, I'm asking if anyone has any questions, Sandy.
Oh, I
know
don't.
Susan has a question, but I don't think so.
I'm not hearing you very well, but
All right. Well, I want to thank everyone for coming, and we will do gardening again. Suze is clapping. I think Sherry's chasing down a dog. So it was great. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, I'm glad. I was hoping more people would come, and but maybe we could do it again. And at some point, if people would be interested, and I'd be happy to demonstrate. It's so easy, and a lot of people think they don't have a green thumb. We don't have to have a green thumb to do this, and you can just have some fun with it, and just enjoy, just enjoy it.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I think it was terrific, and we'll catch everyone at our next garden club Zoom. All righty. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, thank you. Bye.
I look forward to the day when we can all do it together in person. That's the only thing I miss.
Absolutely.
I hope
Oh, okay.
I hope that soon we all can do it in person. And I kept thinking